All right, so we have a game two recap of the Cavs win over the Toronto Raptors. I mean, just looked like Toronto really doesn't have a chance. But actually, I mean, everybody has a chance. I mean, they just have to continue playing. I think they just don't really have enough firepower, but they definitely do fight. And I mean, the game was already tied at 46 going in, deep in the second quarter. And then, Lowry, goes out of the game. He said after the game he needed to clear his head. But you can't leave your team like that. And when he left, it kind of just dismantled. The Cavs went on a 16-2 run, and it was just over. The enthusiasm of the Cavs arena, was just too much for Toronto. And when he goes out, they go out. I think honestly he just has to get his confidence back. I mean, he was at that point, the first two games. I mean, he's 1 for 15 in 3-point shooting. In that game, he had 5 turnovers. I think he has to, just kind of try to get your head and understand that you went to the All-Star game. That you're the team in that. You're the captain of that team. I mean, even though you got to continue giving. DeRozan his credit. I mean, one thing you could say is that he's been consistent. The kind of the 1-2 punch. But I think he needs to cut down on his threes. Maybe shoot a couple of 2-pointers. That little fadeaway jumper that he comes in, he runs to the hole. I mean, that's something that's very effective. I mean, if you got to shoot that, then go ahead and do that. I mean, obviously, that's why you see DeRozan is very good at, shooting those 20-footers and things like that. That's something that he has to do. He just has to, learn how to keep fighting and, through adversity. Nobody's giving him a chance to win this series. But the only way that, Toronto's going to win is if he has a pretty decent game. DeRozan is already going to be consistent as well, too. The Cavs had +8 on rebounds, +7 in assists. And they had, -15 in fouls. So, Toronto had them on the foul shooting. Thompson had 19 points, 12 rebounds, 10 defensive rebounds. So that's key. Again, James has a triple-double, 23 points, 11 rebounds, 11 assists. Again, 10 defensive rebounds. So they're limiting Toronto to their second chance shots or anything like that. Love added 19 points. Kyrie had 26. I mean, he had an awesome move on Joseph. I see who they have him checking him. I mean, he has to just get confident. I mean, because in this game, he just really didn't have that confidence, checking Kyrie. And, he kind of just let Kyrie pretty much just have it at will. Biyombo had 5 rebounds. I mean, he definitely has to step his game up since he's the only presence that is there that's trying to stop it. And we know that these last 2 games, LeBron James been coming to the hole at will, because there's no presence of a big man really. But definitely, it's definitely a chance that, they do have a chance. Lowry just has to, just kind of fight through it. He has to ask some of the other greats, like Michael Jordan when he had the flu. How do you keep on playing, and whatever you have to do to try to play in the game and, get to what you can get. So definitely look forward to game 3.